The door doesn't open by itself. There's no slant or anything, but it just decided, fuck it. Oh, I'm recording. Okay.
Oh, your haunted house. Thank you.
My house is brand new. Only thing that haunts it is the number of dicks I kill with this bomb ass pussy in here.
I hadn't paid attention to the one episode that me and Mikey were actually mean to Aid. And then all of a sudden
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like, you guys are too mean to her.
She's like, you're too mean to A. And I was like, fuck her.
Ah!
Vai se la verga, puto. Hey, all you mutant goons from beyond. Welcome back to an all-new episode. This is Goon June. That's right, Goon June, where we take, basically, from you listeners out there, we're going to take your word. We're going to watch movies that you request. That's right. And today is Kevin's episode. So to you listening to Kevin, I hope you're fanning your nuts, flicking your bean, and waxing your carrot, because this one's all for you. So we took time out of our busy lives to do an episode just for you. But before I go in deeper, let's go ahead and introduce our hosts here. So I'll go down the line here. Let's go alphabetical order. How about that? So I'm Doug. I'm wearing a yellow shirt, and I got Michael Myers giving the middle finger. You know, I'm not giving the movie away that we're doing. But anyway, let's go ahead and start.
Oh, alphabetical would be me. Okay, thank you. Hi.
Yeah, just to be clear, Doug is not the first letter of the alphabet. I mean, D.
It's not. I got a little confused, but hey, it's Aid.
Hi. And wait, no, it's your
Oh,
turn.
wait. Al goes next, Lance. It's the alphabet.
I know.
How much have you been drinking?
I saw him about
I
to
don't
go.
know.
He's going off his actual real first name, which is Sebastian Lance Amaro. So, but we're going up Lance.
Hi, Goons. How you doing?
They can't answer you back.
And Mikey already introduced himself.
No, I didn't.
There we go. This is
good.
good. This is the
Wow,
dyslexic
just-
episode. So
Now
see, I
have
can't even say
two
dyslexic.
Lances. Okay.
Okay, well, who's drinking today?
Everyone's drinking today.
Oh.
Well, you know, and people were drinking in Orlando. We did Spooky Empire in Orlando, and we did a lot of binging, drinking, Percocets. What's the thing we learned with Gabos, our tattoo artist, poppers? Oh.
Gaba.
Yeah,
Gaba.
Gabos.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
poppers.
Savoy.
So,
Some of us learned
Savoy.
about it.
So yeah, in Orlando, who knew you can go to bars and put a quarter in the quarter machine, twist it, and you get poppers. So there you go. You stick it up your ass or something, and it makes you come harder. So,
Well,
that
and
what
the
they were saying?
official. Oh, what am I? Don't look at me. The official. Oh my God.
What are
The
you
official
doing?
dog of Orlando. Everything's backwards. The official dog of Orlando is apparently the French bulldog. Because we saw a bunch of them downtown.
Yeah.
They wanted to pet one, and the
because-
owner said no.
No, I pet them all the time, right?
No, the owner's like, there's only room for one bitch in this establishment. To some people, this would be considered torture. Others, not so much. I happen to be a avant-garde film enthusiast, sucking off to the Criterion Collection. And to most of you guys here, like when we did this episode, I think this was before Halloween Ends here, because we did like a little snippet of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. But yes, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is the film we're doing today from 2009. Good old Rob Zombie bringing back films on 16 millimeter. So say what you want about this film. Let's just get a real quick thing, because everyone and their mothers, heard about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and everyone fucking hates it. But you want to know what? Look at my picture in the back. It's Michael Myers saying big fuck you, because after watching Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, and the Blumhouse shit, this is midnight cinema at its finest here. This film is perfect by itself. It's not full of that trauma masturbation that you get in the other ones, because somehow, for some reason, I don't know what you guys think, but trauma, making stories about my trauma, it's fucking hot right now. Shut up.
I mean, I'll admit I hated it when I first saw it. In fact, I haven't seen it really all the way through since then until yesterday when I rewatched the director's cut, the uncut version. So I was like, I was watching it.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was like I was watching an entirely different movie. I always rewatch the beginning of it because I love the beginning. I think the beginning in the hospital when they're doing surgery on her is so fucked up and so crazy and just like so fun. Like the beginning is just amazing to me. So I love rewatching that scene, but I usually end up turning it off because it is around 2 hours.
I don't know
So-
which version I saw. I saw whichever one was on Freevee. I've seen it. I saw it in the theater when it first came out, and then I rewatched it again for this time. And I think said this before. I did not like the original Rob Zombie's Halloween. I hated it when I first saw it. It's kind of grown on me. And most of it was because of the backstory. I was like, yeah, hello, obvious. Yeah, whatever. I've seen enough true crime documentaries to know what you're trying to do. But I realized what really made the first one bad. Oh God, I'm gonna be such a bitch. And because that was the only detractor for this one, and it was our main actress. I
Oh, really?
cannot.
Scott Taylor Compton.
Not friend of the show. You know how they say Britney Spears sounds like a sexy baby when she sings? I feel like Scout Taylor Compton is doing this weird baby voice when she's like moaning and screaming and running away. She doesn't do it any other time. And it's just so cringy. And I'm like, why do you sound like a child? Like, not in like an innocent, like, this is disturbing. You sound like a kid. You know, I'm like, I'm cringing and I just want you to just kill her. I don't like the way she screams. I don't like. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with her? I cannot deal with Homegirl. If they would have recasted someone else in this, I'd have been perfectly fine. And I probably would have liked it a lot better. I do like the movie. I like its own adventure that it takes. I like that it's not trying to be a regular Halloween movie. I like that they start off like Halloween 2, the original, but then they go off on their own thing. I just don't like Laurie in both of these movies. And she's the one we're supposed to be liking.
You know, it is what it is. And Rob Zombie, it's like he made his own thing because he was so forced to go, you know, verbatim on the first movie. He tried to do his own thing in the beginning, but then just it's like the second half of the movie. I prefer the first half, but the second movie, on the other hand, I think it's more realistic compare. And I'm going because it's newer now, but the Blumhouse movies, I'm comparing it to that too because they use the whole thing of trauma, like, oh, I'm gonna write a self-help book. I gotta go to yoga, and you know, I'm gonna make pumpkins and flash my tits to trauma. This one, it's like, well, this is the whole other thing here. I think Laurie is the most realistic. Fuck you! I need my fucking drugs. I think that's kind of a true reaction too. You know, she got fucked up. This Michael Myers is much more brutaler.
I agree with you, Mikey, that she is a little annoying at a lot of at times when she does have that squeaky voice, and she's so fucking annoying in Gilmore Girls as little sister. I can't stand her. She's the worst character on the whole show. Whenever she shows up, and they're like, "Oh, hi, Clara," and she just says something stupid. I'm like, "Who the fuck brought this fucking kid on set?" So that's my trauma with her.
Mark it now. Little blondes and children all of ages.
She's not blonde,
But
Lance.
well, she's like a strawberry blonde. I do like her a lot now. Like I follow her on Instagram. Like she works out a lot. She does a lot of like different things, and I do like her little podcast with Danielle Harris. And just recently, she got married, and she had Tyler Maine officiate their wedding, and Danielle Harris was in the wedding. So that's really fun for me. Like that'd be fun. Like, oh, it's a girls' day, huh? But you know, I don't necessarily dislike her in this movie, but and Doug, I don't know if you want to touch on this at some point, but there's a huge difference if you watch the director's cut versus the theatrical cut. It's two different characters.
What I like about this one is that it's Rob Zombie making just his Rob Zombiness. This is like asking, like, I don't know, people say, like, well, it's just very mean and Rob Zombie, like, very dirty and grimy. Hello, Rob Zombie fucking did it. That's like asking, you know, Kubrick to, like, can you make a movie but like not have like nice camera angles in it or something? Like, don't do your staple thing. I don't know. It's stupid to me. And for the Weinsteins to interfere as much as they did with this, I mean, first of all, fuck the Weinsteins. And second of all, fuck the Weinsteins. But it's funny because I was reading the trivia on here, and you know, the Weinsteins were so worried about the first movie when Rob Zombie was doing it. They were giving him so many notes, like, you have to do this, or else I'm going to get my lawyer to come and like fix this. And now that the first one was a success, you know, they're like on there telling Rob Zombie, like, you need to make it like this. Like, look at this great scene in Rob Zombie's Halloween. He's like, hello, I'm fucking Rob Zombie. I made the first movie. What the fuck? And I even read too that Bill Moseley was supposed to be playing the part as
Bouncer at a club.
Yeah, Jeff Daniel Phillips's part at the strip club, but because of the studio interference, I don't know the cheese behind that, but they made him quit. So That's why Jeff Daniel
I
Phillips
am.
plays two parts. So
I wish I'd known that because I totally would have asked him what the cheese was when I met him at Spooky Empire last year and he gave me a cookie. But I
Ew.
didn't realize that. What do you mean, ew? I loved it.
This was kind of brutal, but I think even though it's not a good movie, Halloween Kills beats it in the brutality,
what?
which is surprising because
Well, you didn't watch the uncut version though.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
this
don't know
one was
what I
brutal. I mean,
watched.
you get the guy like
Yeah.
like to me, what a brutal movie is like in movies, like when someone gets stabbed, like in regular movies, they go like, oh, but in brutal movies, you hear like that big fat guy that runs the strip club. He's like, yeah, like they scream like girls and stuff. I mean, that's kind of brutal. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever seen Bones or someone stabbed in real life, but it's like that.
Even the stripper though, like when he was slamming her face into the mirror.
Of course, he was paying attention to that section.
That
No.
is that's a rough part to get through because he doesn't
It's fine to
stop.
me.
He just does not. I'm sure he does, but like he just doesn't stop. And it's like
No, he
once or
doesn't.
twice, but he just keeps going and going.
I'm surprised
And
you two are okay with the puppy part.
Oh, fuck that dog. But
Oh.
oh, he ate
I
the dog. Yeah. See, they don't show that in the theater. That's why I'm like, what the? I go, why can't I remember a goddamn thing about this movie?
So, I mean, you could say Halloween Kills is brutal, but it's like there were cousin with the helmet coming in, and like,
no,
well,
it's
you know
more.
what,
I
Halloween
think
two.
it's more violent than this one. This one is brutal in terms of like, oh, but also the one thing that Halloween 2 has going for it in terms of like just being dark is the score is very creepy. Considering they never really used the Halloween theme song until the very end of the movie, that like I don't even know how to explain it, but just that tone and that musical score that they use that carries throughout. It's like a 3 or 4 bar little like that is creepy.
Well, another thing, I don't know if you guys have anything else to add, but something that I really appreciate is that this was shot on 16 millimeters, so it gives it that extra grain. Like I watched it on the Blu-ray upscaled on the 4K OLED TV, and it just looks dirty. It looks good. In fact, I'd say like this is one of the best shot looking Halloween movies. Like I love the shots because you can tell like that I love heavy grain. So there's 16 millimeter shots where they show like Brad Dourif's farmhouse and stuff, and it's like the gray sky. Like I don't know, I just love that. The cinematography is beautiful in this movie,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah, Chucky is in it.
yeah, he is, and I feel like he has the most emotional scene in this. I forget. I'm like, man, when Danielle Harris gets killed, they
Oh,
really did it right. I mean, Brad Dourif's a great actor, but Rob Zombie knew and like, you know what? Let me get to the heartstrings of the viewers, and we're gonna show Danielle Harris's dead body all cut up and stuff, and we're gonna flash back to like scenes of her playing with the dog.
I
So
was like,
Yeah.
when that's when I was like, why is she naked? She wasn't naked when he was killing her. But also I will say that out of
Weinstein.
yeah,
all
when
gross.
she
Out
has
of
to be
all
naked, I'm gonna
well,
get
hey,
my
she'll be in
lawyer.
town this weekend. I'm gonna ask her, why were you
I
naked?
I thought she had
Um,
a little vata on, like she was wearing a little thing like I have on. It
no,
was just
Not for the
in
blending
other
in with the
when
scene.
blood.
when she's dead, like when she goes to the bathroom, she's clothed, but whenever they open the door and she's all cut up and on the floor, she's technically not dead yet. She's naked. Maybe they were trying to play on that. You know how the first one tried to make him a little rapey? I don't know. But I will say, out of every Halloween movie, and I don't know if it's different on the unrated version, Annie's death in Halloween 2 is the creepiest death. Because in the one that I saw, he shows up and I mean, of course, he's like stalking her. She doesn't know. She sees him in the bathroom. It like gets slow mo. She like turns around. She's screaming, and like the camera just pans. And I guess they're in a room, and you hear like slicing, and you hear her like screaming bloody murder, but you don't see anything because the camera stays outside. You just hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that fucks me up all the time. And then like later on, they show flashes of like what was happening, but not like too detailed. And when they open the door and there's just blood all over the wall, like it's one of those things where your imagination puts it together and you just think of the most fucked up thing that you can do. And I think that is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
and
a
it,
really good shot.
as brutal as it is
Thank
a
you.
beautiful scene. I mean, because I think you see behind me too, you
Yeah,
see
but
the
she finds
walls
her.
when she finds her, and so it's that it was hard because I was surprised, but I like that they didn't kill her in part one. But I what?
I was gonna say I don't want to. I was gonna say that's what the walls look like after I slept in Lance's room, but I wasn't gonna. I'm not gonna say it. Go ahead.
Anyway,
I told you I didn't want to say it.
you know what? I don't want to know what happened at Lance's house while I wasn't there.
Look how red he is. She's
look
turned to a
at
tomato.
Doug's grading too. Did everybody sneak into Lance's room in the middle of the night? Is that what happened?
No, but we watched Pervy the clown. So
That is true.
We have
did
to.
do that.
We always have to. This one
Mhm.
isn't so much of a remake of Halloween 2. This is just a sequel to his Halloween remake.
To his
Because
Halloween.
because this is nothing really to do except for the first 10 minutes in the hospital. There's no connection between this and Halloween 2, the original.
Yeah, and he even says that like he didn't want to come back because the Weinsteins gave him so much shit, and Doug, you know this, that he was not going to come back. And Malika Akkad said, "Oh, you can just do what you want. You don't have to worry about this list," because Mustafa Akkad, before he died, left a whole list. And you always see these names, Mustafa Akkad and the old Halloweens, because like this man was obsessed with Halloween. He loved it. He produced it.
yeah, and opinions change. We're all young, dumb, and full of good intentions, but things change, and like I'm sure people will come around to this and hate it. So
Lance just got it. Okay.
I'm glad you guys had me back. This was real fun. Last one you heard me on was Basket Case 2, which we met Dwayne, by the way. So
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Spooky Empire was good. We'll do another one too, because the slashers and B-movie TV crew are going to be at Midsummer Scream. So fan your nets, flick your bean, wax your carrot, because we'll be there pouring ourselves out to the greater good. So